chilling to hear. Faculty at New York City public schools are going to be adding new training and curriculum to handle anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, and this comes in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war and also some incidents on school grounds in the region. Back in November, you may remember this viral TikTok video surfaced from Hillcrest High School in Queens, and it shows about 400 students protesting against a pro-Israel teacher. The teacher, who is Jewish, was targeted because she had changed a social media profile photo to an image of her holding up an I Stand with Israel sign at a pro-Israel rally. The teacher was moved to a different floor of the building when the protests began, and then an investigation was launched. New York Mayor Eric Adams responded to the incident that day with a post on X saying the act was motivated by hatred and will not be tolerated, adding that we are better than this. Under the new anti-discrimination training, school staff will now at 1,600 public schools be retrained on the best practices to educate students on difficult topics, for instance, the Israel-Hamas war. In addition, anti-discrimination workshops will be held for parents. The initiative comes as the Department of Education is conducting a federal civil rights investigation into New York City public schools after complaints of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Joining us now, the community manager for the Tel Aviv Institute, Daniella Rabbani. Daniella, thank you. This is a good thing that's happening. It sounds as though it is necessary, not just because of that incident, but because of what has been happening for years in our schools. But I think getting at the heart of it, based on what I was reading, a lot of administrators and teachers have felt fearful to talk about this for fear of saying the wrong thing. So how does training intersect that worry?
Thank you so much for having me. The fact that the press is covering this has really changed a lot in a very short amount of time. I know families who personally have been trying to advocate for their students, their children in New York City public schools in regards to protecting their Jewish kids. And they have been ignored. The fact that you're covering this has really helped, and I appreciate it so much. I'm glad that Eric Adams and that the Chancellor is going to be taking this seriously from now on. Of course, I can't speak on Islamophobia. I'm not Muslim, but I will say that there has been an issue with anti-Semitism for a long time. I personally know a teacher who was assaulted by a mob of 7th graders for being Jewish, and that was 2 years ago. Those students had no repercussions. She ended up leaving the school, which of course is backwards. The good news is that the Chancellor is now holding perpetrators accountable, including students, including teachers. They have set forth some guidelines asking that educators not push their political agenda during school hours, including posting on social media. Unfortunately, right now, there isn't action being taken quite yet, but I am hopeful that there will be. I think that, the Jewish community and perhaps the world at large has taken for granted that anti-Semitism is still alive and well. Unfortunately, I think we did believe ourselves to have graduated from the oldest hate, and it is not true. We have not. We've spent much of our energy advocating for others, which of course we'll continue to do as a Jewish community, but we do need the support of course, you. Thank you so much. The city, in order to protect our Jewish children in public schools, and our Jewish educators who have reached out to me and have told me that they, similar to the incident at Hillcrest, have been bullied, harassed. They have to take Jewish students to the side to console them in private for fear of further intimidation. It is a really, really tricky time in New York City public schools, which of course is so diverse and so beautiful in its cultural tapestry. And I am hopeful that we can get back to a place of tolerance, of a place of acceptance, and a loving environment for our students and for our faculty.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.